Jayden, how'd you pull up after the first big pre-season here on Saturday?
Yeah, no, pretty well. Yeah, it was down at Bunbury, a little bit of different environment, but it was good to be out there, and yeah, the fans showed up and stuff like that. So good to get that final hit out, and yeah, we'll have the week off, and then hopefully build some momentum early next week, leading into round one.
How many times have you rewatched that goal?
So, a couple of times. Got sent it a few times. I got a couple of North supporters as well. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that one. I think the wind helped it a bit, but yeah, always take a good goal like that.
What did you make of Hands Oval?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, the surface was nice. Nice big arena. Obviously the wind played a role in it, but yeah, it looked beautiful, and yeah, definitely the local crowd showed up, and it was a real fun environment to play in. So there's lots of atmosphere and stuff like that. So I think we really enjoyed going down there.
I mean, season almost upon us. Of course, you're not playing this weekend, but how do you sort of approach, I guess, this opening round? Do you sit back, relax, enjoy watching the game, or do you try and shut off from that and actually just focus on when you guys are going to get started?
Yeah, I think it's our last sort of weekend to sort of just mentally escape it. Like once the season starts, as you know, it's week in, week out until the end of the season. So I think for me, I'll have a mental refresh and won't watch too much footy, and then yeah, really at the start of next week, get back to training on Monday, and then build into round one.
Have you looked much at, I mean, it's pretty hard, I know, but much of the Suns and what they've been kind of doing this pre-season so far?
Nah, not yet. I don't know if we'll look at them later this week or just leave it till next week. It's interesting round one because you got all pre-season to prepare for it, but I think most teams nowadays just keep to the normal week-to-week structure. So yeah, we'll either look at them later this week or early next week.
Have you found your role this year as well? I mean, there's a couple of guys coming through the ranks that you're competing with, particularly for that wing role, Hutchison-Tyrrell duo. How have you kind of seen that this year?
Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, I think Minnie came in and said, yeah, we'll see a role on the wing for you. And it's been good. I'm now almost 30 and things like that. And I feel like all the wings are under 21 with like Hutch, Dewell, like you mentioned, even like Chesser, Harvey Johnson, Hamish as well. So I've got like 8 or 9 years on them. So it's been really good. We've got a group going of all us wingers, and yeah, I'm trying to sort of give them the knowledge and experience I've had. But like you said, it's definitely a big competition for spots, which all the teams do have. So yeah, the two you mentioned especially, Hutch and Dewell, have been going really well lately. So they both bring different things. So yeah, it'd be nice to see who's in there round one, and I'm sure that'll change throughout the year as different forms that go up and down.
For you last year, you're obviously dealing with a bit of a foot sort of toe niggle throughout the season. How sort of hard was it for you to get up for games and sort of get through to the end of the year?
Yeah, for sure. It's such a sort of little injury, but for me, I definitely rely on my speed. I don't think I'm too good without it. So for me to sort of lose that sort of, I could go at 90% most of the season, but I just lost that sort of top end speed that I rely on, and I build my game around that. So yeah, it was really frustrating because while I only missed, I think it was 2 games, there would have been 10 or so games where it was just like not much training during the week, just get up for game day. So yeah, fingers crossed. I'm injury free at the moment, feeling really good about my body. So yeah, I think the toe issue is a thing of the past, and yeah, hopefully keep as injury free as I can.
And the off season, was it just a matter of resting it, or sort of giving it a bit of downtime before you could build up again?
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, by the end of the season, it actually sort of started to get better. I think I took a few weeks off, sort of maybe 3/4 of the way through the season, and that sort of helped it a lot. So yeah, it was sort of 3 weeks off legs completely, and then I got it back into my running program. And yeah, I think sort of going at 90% is fine. It was only that real top end stuff that stirred it up. So yeah, throughout sort of off season, all pre-season, I haven't felt it at all.
Speaking of speed, it seems to be the way the game's going to be played for you guys going forward under Andrew. How have you found that change? Is it something that's really strengthening your game as well?
Yeah, I think it does help my game for sure. But having said that, I think the top sort of 4, top 8 teams have been doing it sort of for a year or two already. It's just the way the game's going, sort of that chaos ball, take it forward as much as you can. So yeah, to be able to implement that game plan as well is really good, and it sort of puts everyone on the same page. I think day one, Minnie was like, look, it's 45 of you, that it's a new game plan. You're all sort of first years with this new game plan. So working through that with everyone, both the older and younger guys, has been good. And yeah, hopefully it stacks up. I think it will take a while to absolutely nail it, but if we can just improve as the weeks go on, it'll be really good. And I think long term, it is a really good game plan. It will stack up.
So I ask, as a player with that game plan, and when it does sort of inevitably go a little bit wrong in these early stages, how do you keep that confidence to keep going back to it?
Yeah, I think you just got to, like, if you make a mistake doing the right thing, it's never going to be sort of talked about in match reviews and stuff like that. Obviously, it's frustrating when you make a mistake. Everyone is human and you get annoyed at your teammates for making mistakes. But if they're making the mistakes in the right way, I don't think that's going to be the stuff we talk about too much. And yeah, like I said, those top 4 teams make more mistakes than most teams, to be honest. But they can fix it up better and they just keep going for it. And yeah, but the sort of probabilities will be on their favour if they keep on doing it throughout the game.
How would you describe Minnie's coaching style?
Yeah, he's really, really caring. I think he's building really good relationships with people. I think he's really good at that. But he also can be stern when we need to sort of, to be told that as well. So it'll be interesting to see, because we've only really had him for training and practice games. So obviously there's a bit more pressure on real games. So we'll see how he goes. But yeah, all us players have been absolutely loving him and really looking forward to working with him as the season goes on.
Feels like there's a rejuvenated excitement outside of the club amongst the fans. They're curious to see how it's going to go. You've got some recruits, got some new young guys in. What's the feeling like behind the 4 walls for yourselves at the moment?
For sure. I remember I came back after first week at training and I was at home with a couple of housemates and my partner, and I said the same thing. I was like, oh, there's this whole new energy, and yeah, there's so many young guys. I think it's something like 22 under 22. So all this youth brings energy, new coaches, new main coach, a few sort of staff members have changed as well in the footy department. So yeah, it's something that's been really good. Just, I think new faces just bring a whole new energy. So I think it was something we needed, and just that whole new look, sort of embrace the youth, and yeah, hopefully it goes well.
Am I correct in saying you're out of contract at the end of this season?
Yeah, currently out of contract, yeah.
How's that sort of sitting with you at the moment?
Not too bad. I think I definitely want to, sort of focus on my footy this sort of start of the season, and then I can get into that talks after that. But yeah, I feel really good. I'm confident in my own game, and sort of the coaches and stuff are pretty happy with me at the moment. So yeah, it has only been pre-season, so we'll see how we go on the real stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping I can sort of have a good start of the season, and then sort of start talks from there.
Hutchison and Jill are talking about, and what do they bring to that wing role, and what have they been leaning on you for as far as advice is concerned?
For sure. I think Hutch brings a very more that contested wingman that a few teams sort of have. So his stuff sort of around the stoppage and things like that. And I think everyone can sort of tell how desperate he is. He's such a good player to play with. He's going to sort of dive his body into any contest, chase people down. So he really brings that side. Whereas Diwa's a bit of contrast. He's a bit like me, loves using his speed, take people on. And he's also got a really good kick on him. So, I suppose with him being young, I just keep on encouraging him to use his weapons, use his speed. If he's going to get caught 1 in 10, the other 9 times is going to be good for the team. So something I've definitely built on in my career is just keep on taking risks and things like that. It's the type of player he is, and he offers something that not many players can actually do. So we need him to bring those weapons and bring his strengths to the game.
Obviously, your goal was a highlight on the weekend, but Liam Baker might have picked you with his 55-metre bomb. Can you speak to obviously him and Jack coming into the club? You're someone who's been through that experience, new environment, new sort of coach and whatnot, and it seems like from the outside looking in, it's been a pretty seamless arrival for them. Yeah,
for sure. I think it's really interesting when you come from other teams. You just come to a new club, and the new club does different things and stuff like that. So it's really good. They've brought some stuff from Richmond that they've really liked, and vice versa. We're doing stuff that they're like, oh yeah, this is really good. So yeah, from the sort of first week they came, they were very loud out on the track, showing their leadership, because we are a pretty young team. We need those boys to come in and be leaders straight away. So yeah, those 2 and O's as well have been really good. And I think having those 3 players sort of in the team just brings that experience and that quality sort of player.